Hello Clarkston, I'm Rod Rock, Superintendent of Schools. Each year the Clarkston Foundation recognizes a Teacher of the Year. This year there are 12 nominees from Clarkston's 7 elementary schools. They've been nominated by their colleagues and parents for their outstanding contributions. Here they are.
My name's Heidi Kroll. I teach at Springfield Plains Elementary and I'm a 4th grade teacher.
My name's Erin Hill and I also teach at Springfield Plains 1st grade.
My name is Kristen Gretka and I teach at Independence Elementary, 5th grade.
My name is Meredith Copeland. I teach at Bailey Lake Elementary School, 2nd grade.
Hi, my name is Nate Fuller. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Clarkston Elementary.
Hi, I'm Abby St. Aubin. I teach kindergarten at North Sashama.
Hi, my name is Michelle Herkowitz and I teach 2nd grade at Andersonville Elementary.
Hi, I'm Mary DeVito and I teach kindergarten at Andersonville Elementary.
Hi, I'm Carol Barber and I teach 5th grade at Bailey Lake Elementary.
I'm Kelly Willard and I teach 4th grade at Andersonville Elementary.
Hi, I'm Corinne Petruska and I teach 1st grade at Pine Knob Elementary.
Hi, I'm Stacy Zielinski and I teach 1st grade at Independence Elementary.
I decided to become a teacher because it's kind of in my blood. My dad was a college professor at Central. My mom was a high school teacher in Mount Pleasant. I'm a teacher, my sister's a teacher, and now my daughter is in her 3rd year of teaching 1st grade in Wyandotte. So, yeah.
My friend Mary was a real inspiration for me. I met her after I had my kids, and she had been a teacher in Pontiac for 30 plus years. And listening to her stories and listening to how much she just loved her job, it made me realize that I wanted to go back and become a teacher. I hadn't chosen it the first time, even though I always really wanted to do that, and I think she provided the inspiration to do that.
But I think what did it for me is I struggled through school. I was very social. If you know me, I'm a very social person. And I kind of enjoyed school more than putting an effort in. And it was, I met my husband who was very academically driven, and he was going to college and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And so I went to community college and I took a basic math class because I had to start over again. And I found out I was actually really good at it. And I knew I always wanted to be a teacher, but I kind of gave up. I thought it wasn't possible for me. And it took me a while, a little bit more of a struggle than other people. And then I started and I stayed home and with my kids, and so I let it go. And I came back and I started subbing in Clarkston for 6 years. And I realized, meeting all of you, and I've actually moved to 4 different buildings and worked with most of you that are standing here, so I feel honored.
And taught our kids.
Yes, and taught your kids. But I feel like it was being in these classrooms and being with these people that made me realize I could do this, and I really needed to be there to help the kids that were like me.
Well, my inspirational teacher was my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Heath. Her classroom was always filled with creativity, wonder, and passion, and every time I would see her, she always had a smile on her face. And just as a young kid, only being 5 years old, I just remember what it would be like to be in her shoes and how she just I knew she loved her job because she always smiled, and kids were her passion. And I remember, just like Mary, she followed me all along my entire school career. And when I graduated high school, she sealed the deal for me by writing me a letter and telling me to follow my dreams and follow my passions. And because of her, I became a teacher.
I feel like from an early age, I saw the other side of being a teacher. My childhood best friend, her mom was a very beloved English teacher at our high school in our town. And spending time with Meredith and her family, her mom, Mrs. Hoyle, would be interrupted. We'd be at McDonald's, we'd be everywhere. And people would come to connect, former students and current students, and hugs and catching up. And it made my girlfriend Meredith bananas. We stopped all the time, we were in a hurry. And her mom was so gracious and so kind and gave every student the time and the way that she connected. And so I saw that side of teaching outside of lessons, outside of knowing the curriculum. I saw that for years and years. And then when I actually became a high school student and had that teacher in high school, watching the finesse that she had with students, and especially at-risk students. She had a basket of breakfast items every morning for kids who just breakfast wasn't a priority or nobody was making breakfast for them. And watching the way that she approached teaching really guides the way that I teach today, so much more and beyond. Seeing how she understood that connecting with kids is the very most important thing.
Yeah. My 2nd grade teacher was one of my big sources of inspiration. She was kind and loving and just the person that I remembered most from my elementary school. I moved out of our district about half an hour away, and she wrote me a letter when I graduated high school, and she kind of followed me through even though I had moved, and that really kind of just stayed with me. And I thought she's just one of those people that I strive to emulate.
My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Lynch, was my inspiration for me. She encompassed all those wonderful things that you would envision a teacher to be. So she was kind and helpful and thoughtful, and she had a sense of humor. And I remember I qualified to be in a spelling bee. And my parents had 7 children, so it was hard for them to sit with us and practice different things. So she would give up her lunch and recess, and she would practice my spelling words with me. And to this day, I remember that and how much that meant to me. And I wrote her a letter in college just thanking her for that and telling her that she was my inspiration. And she wrote back, a very nice thank you note, and I remember seeing her after that, and it meant a lot to her too. So we had a special bond.
I think there's so many moments where that happens. I'm sure you all thought of that too. Any moment where a student has worked hard and found a new understanding. But if I think about this year, my class was invited to attend an event called Oakland County Reads to celebrate March's Reading Month, and we had to take a bus to Farmington. And I took along a basket of leveled books, just a small basket, and we passed them out to the students, and they started reading. And they just read the whole way there. It was incredible. They read with each other. They passed them over the seats and down the aisles and shared them. And before we knew it, we were in Farmington and had a great time at the event and came on the way back to school. We got back on the bus and they said, "Can we have the books again?" I said, "Yeah, you can." And all the way back they read, and it was just, it was kind of just a remarkable feeling to see that outside of the classroom they were applying these new understandings, and I was very proud.
More recently, I have a student came to me that was in my 2nd grade class. Now she's in 4th grade, and when she left me, she's been in accelerated math programs ever since. And she came back and she said, "I never knew I was good at math until I was in your classroom." So that really kind of stuck out me.
Something that I love about being in the career of teaching is that it's not a career. Every moment is special, and every day you're going through these moments that just redefine like who you are and what these kids stand for. And like Meredith said, my one moment that really stands out to me in my teaching career is when a former student came back, and I was actually going out to get some lunch, and all of a sudden I hear my name over the PA system, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I go into the office and I see this young man of about 18 years old, and all of a sudden I hear, "Mr. Fuller, what happened to your hair?" and I was like, "Wow, that happens." And then for a split second I was looking at this man, and I'm like, "Who?" And then all of a sudden it hit me who it was, and I could see that he wanted to talk. And so at that moment, I was like, "Hey, let's go back and talk and catch up." And he sat down with me, and he was just talking about just how he was having some struggles in life, and he didn't know who to turn to. And we talked about it, and we went through, and he said, he goes, "I loved everything that Clarkston L stood for. I loved all those teachers here, and I wanted to talk to you guys." And that will forever redefine and definitely shift my thinking of the impact we have on these kids.
The one that stands out for me that is extremely special was that my first class that I ever taught sang at my wedding. And it was fabulous, and it kind of defines me because I believe that families and myself and the kids are just this triangle that is connected. And the fact that they were there at such a personal moment for me, they were led by our music teacher, Mrs. Stewart, and she taught them the Beatles song "I Will" and "I'll Love You Forever and for Always," and they sang, and my dad walked me down the aisle. Then they sang, and then my dad, handed me to my husband, and it's such an amazing memory. And I look back at the pictures, and these kids now have children of their own, and it's really just, and the fact that all but one were there in the middle of the summer, and they came and took time to do that. That meant a lot to me, and I'll never forget his fabulous.
They might ask you to sing at their wedding.
They will not ask me to sing at their wedding. I guarantee it.
Maybe Miss Stewart will help.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
When I think about the advice that I would give a new teacher, I think back to my mentor teacher years ago, and she told me how important it is to take the time to build relationships with students. I think this is so important now more than ever before because of the curriculum, and there is more and more and more to teach every single day and more expectations, and there's just not enough time in our day to get through the curriculum. So it is truly important to take that time to listen to students, and I feel lucky to be in Clarkston because I feel like our administration team really supports this. And as Dr. Rock says at the beginning of the school year, he told us to take the time to listen to students and to hear them with fresh ears and to believe in them and help them believe in each other too. So my advice is to just take the time to listen to your students and build those relationships, and not only at the beginning of the school year, but each and every day, take that time.